Orcs. Their very name evokes images of savage warfare, brutal hierarchy and merciless ambition. In the depths of mountain strongholds and amid the shadows of ancient forests, these creatures built empires of fear and destruction, led by commanders whose names would become legend. While many see orcs as mindless servants of darkness, their greatest leaders were masterminds of strategy and destruction, commanding vast armies that threatened to reshape Middle-earth itself. From the blood-soaked halls of Moria to the siege towers of Minas Tirith, orc leaders proved themselves to be far more than simple brutes. They were generals who understood the art of war, politicians who manipulated complex tribal alliances, and warlords who could inspire terrible loyalty in their followers. Their stories reveal a darker, more complex side of Middle-earth's military history, one written in blood, betrayal, and unexpected tactical brilliance. It's important to note that this analysis does not attempt to rank these formidable leaders in any particular order of power or significance. Each commanded different regions in different eras, facing unique challenges and wielding authority in distinct ways. Instead, we seek to understand how each leader's particular strengths and innovations contributed to the evolution of orc military might and political organization throughout Middle-earth's history. The evolution of Orc Society and leadership. To understand the significance of Middle-earth's greatest orc leaders, we must first examine the complex social evolution of Orcish society. Originally corrupted from elves by Morgoth's malice in the First Age, orcs developed a sophisticated, if brutal, social hierarchy that would persist throughout the ages. This hierarchy was built on strength, cunning, and the ability to command through fear, yet it also contained surprising elements of meritocracy and military leadership. The earliest orc societies were primarily tribal, with leadership determined through physical combat and displays of dominance. However, as the ages progressed, and the influence of dark powers like Morgoth and later Sauron grew, orc society developed more complex forms of organization. Military structure became more sophisticated, particularly in regions directly controlled by these dark lords, leading to a hybrid system that combined tribal tradition with military hierarchy. The nature of orc leadership. The foundation of orc leadership rested upon several key principles that remained consistent throughout Middle-earth's history. Physical prowess and combat ability were essential, as no orc would follow a leader they perceived as weak. However, successful orc leaders also demonstrated remarkable political acumen, understanding the delicate balance of alliances and rivalries that characterized Orcish society. Leadership in Orc society was maintained through a complex system of rewards and punishments. Successful leaders knew how to distribute plunder, assign privileges, and maintain discipline through a combination of fear and reward. This system created a form of meritocracy within the brutal hierarchy, allowing capable commanders to rise through the ranks regardless of their origins. Azog the Defiler represents the pinnacle of traditional orc leadership. His reign as the ruler of Moria marked a significant evolution in orc military organization and tribal politics. Under his command, the orcs of Moria transformed from a loose confederation of tribes into a disciplined military force capable of challenging the might of the dwarven kingdoms. Azog's military innovations were particularly noteworthy. He developed new tactics for underground warfare, utilizing the complex network of Moria's halls to create an unprecedented defensive system. His forces mastered the art of ambush warfare in the darkness, using the labyrinthine passages to outmaneuver and trap their enemies. These tactics would influence orc military doctrine for generations to come. The political aspects of Azog's leadership were equally impressive. He maintained control over numerous orc tribes through a combination of military strength and political manipulation. His system of distributing territory and plunder among subordinate chiefs, while maintaining absolute authority over critical decisions, became a model for future orc leaders. The Battle of Azanul-Bizar, Azog's tactical masterpiece. The Battle of Azanul-Bizar represents both the peak of Azog's power and his ultimate downfall. His defensive strategy during this battle demonstrated a sophisticated military thinking, positioning troops to exploit the natural terrain, using elevated positions for archers, and maintaining strategic reserves for counterattacks. While he ultimately fell in combat with Dane Ironfoot, his tactical innovations during this battle would influence Orc military doctrine for generations. Bolg, the evolution of dynastic leadership. Bolg's reign marked a significant evolution in Orc leadership, demonstrating how power could be transferred and maintained through dynastic succession. As Azog's son, he inherited not only his father's position, but also the loyalty of many tribal chiefs. However, Bolg's true significance lies in how he transformed and expanded upon his inheritance. Bolg's greatest achievement was his ability to maintain and expand the coalition of tribes his father had built. He developed new methods of ensuring loyalty, including a system of hostage exchange between tribal chiefs and the implementation of regular war councils, where subordinate leaders could voice their opinions and grievances. This political innovation helped create a more stable power structure that could survive the death of individual leaders. Under Bolg's leadership, Orc military organization underwent significant changes. He standardized equipment among his elite troops, developed more sophisticated supply systems, and created specialized units for different types of warfare. His reforms included the establishment of dedicated scout units mounted on wargs, the creation of specialized siege teams trained in the use of war machines, the development of a rudimentary signal system for battlefield communication, the implementation of regular training regimens for elite troops. Gothmog, the professional commander. Gothmog represents a different model of Orc leadership, the professional military commander operating within a larger organizational structure. As lieutenant of Morgul, he demonstrated how Orcs could function effectively within the more sophisticated military hierarchy of Sauron's forces. Gothmog's command during the siege of Minas Tirith showcased several innovations in Orc military strategy. The coordination of diverse forces including Orcs, Trolls and human allies. The effective use of siege equipment and psychological warfare. The implementation of complex battle plans involving multiple attacking forces. The ability to adapt tactics in response to enemy actions. Perhaps most impressively, Gothmog demonstrated remarkable administrative capabilities in managing the massive logistical requirements of the siege. His organization of supply lines, coordination of different military units, and maintenance of order among diverse forces showed a level of sophisticated leadership rarely associated with Orcs. Lurtz and the Uruk-hai Revolution. The creation of Lurtz and the Uruk-hai represents a revolutionary development in Orc leadership. These specially bred warriors combine the strength and ferocity of Orcs with enhanced intelligence and discipline, creating a new model of military organization. Lurtz's command style emphasized discipline and training to a degree unprecedented among Orc forces. Under his leadership, Uruk-hai units demonstrated superior unit cohesion and battlefield discipline, advanced tactical awareness and adaptation, improved equipment maintenance and military professionalism, enhanced ability to operate independently of direct supervision. Lurtz's pursuit of the Fellowship demonstrated several tactical innovations: the development of effective tracking techniques, the ability to maintain pursuit over long distances, the coordination of different units for encirclement and ambush, the integration of psychological warfare into tactical operation. Shagrat and Gorbag, the politics of command. The interaction between Shagrat and Gorbag provides valuable insight into the complex political dynamics of Orc leadership during the War of the Ring. Their rivalry and eventual conflict illustrate several key aspects of Orc command structure. The conflict between these leaders highlighted the tension between different types of Orc organizations: traditional tribal structures versus military hierarchy, local autonomy versus centralized control, personal ambition versus organizational loyalty, competition for resources and authority. Their different approaches to leadership reflect the diversity of command styles among Orc leaders. Shagrat's emphasis on military discipline and chain of command, Gorbag's more traditional focus on personal authority and tribal loyalty, the role of violence in maintaining authority, the importance of personal combat, prowess in leadership, the impact of Dark Lords on Orc leadership. The influence of Morgoth, Sauron, and later Saruman profoundly affected the development of Orc leadership throughout Middle-earth's history. These dark powers introduced new elements to Orc Society. Under the guidance of dark powers, Orc leaders gained access to advanced weaponry and armor siege engines and fortification techniques, breeding programs for enhanced warriors, industrial-scale production capabilities. The Dark Lords introduced more sophisticated organizational concepts, hierarchical command structures, specialized military units, improved communication systems, standardized training methods. Orc leaders in mountain strongholds developed distinct characteristics, emphasis on defensive warfare and fortification, complex underground, tactical doctrine, sophisticated tunnel warfare techniques, integration of natural terrain into military strategy. The Orcs of Mordor demonstrated unique leadership qualities, higher degree of military organization, more sophisticated logistics and supply systems, greater integration with non-Orc forces, advanced siege warfare capabilities. The legacy of Orc leadership. The impact of these Orc leaders extended far beyond their immediate commands, influencing the development of warfare and military organization throughout Middle-earth. Their innovations in military tactics, political organization, and leadership structure left lasting marks on the history of Middle-earth. Orc leaders contributed significantly to the evolution of warfare. Development of new tactics for different terrain types, innovation in siege, warfare techniques, advancement of night fighting tactics, integration of different unit types in combined arms warfare. The political systems developed by Orc leaders had lasting effects. Creation of more stable power structures, development of methods for maintaining control over diverse forces, evolution of systems for resource distribution and reward, establishment of more sophisticated organizational hierarchies. The study of Orc leadership in Middle-earth reveals a complex picture of military organization, tribal politics, and the evolution of warfare. From Azog to Gothmog, each leader brought unique qualities to their command, contributing to the development of Orc society and military capability. Understanding these leaders helps us appreciate the depth of Tolkien's world-building and the complexity of his villains. While orcs are often seen as simple monsters, their leaders demonstrate a range of abilities and approaches that made them formidable opponents for the forces of good. Each commander, from the brutal efficiency of Azog to the sophisticated military command of Gothmog, and from the tactical innovations of Lurtz to the political maneuvering of Bolg, showed different aspects of what made Orc leadership truly formidable in Middle-earth. Now we turn the question to you. Which of these powerful Orc leaders do you think was the most formidable? Was it Azog's raw military might and tactical innovation, Bolg's political acumen and ability to unite tribes, Gothmog's sophisticated siege, warfare expertise, or perhaps Lurtz's revolutionary leadership of the Uruk-hai? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into Middle-earth lore. The dark corners of Tolkien's world hold many more secrets to explore in future videos.